computer virus. Tell someone to get rid of an old song intro for you and it comes back to nip at your computer and every single video file you have. So hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kumerai Fang, and today I get the pleasure of reviewing a song by not just my favorite band in the world, but by the band who built the foundation of my channel. This is the group who got me to take YouTube seriously. They are the reason why I'm here today. They are the reason I do videos now.
Through all this time I've waited, all this time I've lost.
This is Batar, an unsigned music act who have dubbed themselves as the world's first and only art metal band. These guys have been around for over 5 years now, their first music video dropping in April 2011. And in about a year's time, the group established official faces for their band. Seb on vocals, Jake on bass, as well as the three who formed the group, drummer Tobias and guitarist Simon and Patrick. These five had a few busy years. They dropped one of their best known singles, The Distance, back in 2013, and later the following year released my favorite song, Risk Breaker. Which is the best song released in 2014 ever, and I will hear no argument about it. One of the things I love about this group is just how unpredictable they were. You had no idea where they were going with their sound or what they were going to release next. And for Batar, that is a huge strength of theirs, as evidenced by their following single, Fleur de Lis.
I miss you more than ever, but I fear that you'll never know.
This was a beautiful and powerful piece, one that I think some fans have forgotten with time. It was emotionally strong, and it was released for their then new mini-album, Memoria, which was good, pretty solid, for the most part. Yeah, 2015 wasn't a good year for Batar's music quality. Kumerai is not just my least favorite song off of Memoria, but it's also the first ever song by Batar that I hated upon first listen, and that opinion has not changed any over the last year. Time hasn't done this song justice either. I have a friend in Japan, and where he never liked Batar to begin with, he and I both agreed that this was one bad Deer and Grey styled song. This sinking feeling that 2015 was not going to be kind to Batar ever since I listened to Kumerai, and I was right, just not in the way I expected to be.
Hi, I'm Patrick, the guitarist of Batar. Hi, I'm Simon, I'm the guitarist of Batar.
And I am Tobias, the drummer of Batar.
In the months following Kumerai, Batar had been trying to get their shit together. There was a lot of problems within the group, and it delayed any forms of shows or new songs, and it was a very bad grace period for them. Later that year, they released a hiatus video revealing that their bassist left because he lost the passion to be a part of the group, and they lost their vocalist due to creative differences and lack of communication. They made the video in response to fans, as well as to assure them that they were doing everything they could to find a new lead singer. They were even looking into someone at that moment. And by that, they meant they already found a candidate and he was sitting off camera. Not nice, guys. Anyways, they revealed their new lead singer for the new year, and I lost my shit because this guy created several of my favorite songs of 2015, two of which were in the top 5 of my best of 2015 video. Second best song of the year, almost topped the list. Moving on, Batar has had quite the busy year. They released rebirth versions of their most famous songs, Risk Breaker and The Distance. They released 2 new singles, Always Die Young and Vrede, a soundtrack to Tekken 7. After that, they released their new mini-album Gravitas, links in the description for those of you who want to check it out. They also released 2 new videos following their album's release, a lyric video to the last track, Boiling Point, and the music video to the first track of their album, Malignition. Now, before we dive in, and for those of you who couldn't tell by the thumbnail, mature content warning. The music video to Malignition is more than a bit explicit, so If you are of the faint of heart and can't do horror worth your life, I highly recommend you stop watching this review. I'm sorry, I know that sucks, but if you can't do it, then there's no reason you should be here. We good? We're good? We're good. Okay. Let's get started. Well, that's a bit underwhelming. Real talk here, I listened to Gravitas when it was released to Bandcamp, and I was never really a fan of the intro. Not just to this particular song, but also to the album as a whole. Malignition gets better once more of its layers kick in, but that intro always felt sludgy and weak. And where some of that feeling has gone away with time, it's still sticking with me more than a little bit, thus giving me my main sticking point with Malignition. And by effect, my only sticking point with it. After this slow intro, we actually get into the real meat of the song, powered with strong guitar work, beautiful and eerie strings, low synths to extract more tension,
Sticks in the mud will end up breaking bones.
piano work sprinkled throughout,
What you said, the turn as I planned.
and of course the haunting vocals of Indigo Skyborn.
May your memory be the last of you.
Any of these components on their own probably wouldn't do all so well, but together they make this ominous, thrilling, and chilling music number. It's the kind of song that really has to be heard in order to fully grasp what I'm saying. It's kind of hard to sum up into words, especially when you put it next to the lyrics and the music video for this. And while I'm on the subject, what is Malignition about and what the fuck is going on in this music video? Something I didn't tackle when I first reviewed Batar 2 years ago was the subject matter of their songs and the symbolism in their music videos. I was a new critic, I didn't know what I was doing, and quite frankly most of the video was me fangirling about the entire band. Regardless, both of these elements are essential factors of Batar as a group. It's part of their identity, more so over the last 2 years than anywhere else. Now, I haven't been able to decode everything that's been happening across these music videos. I couldn't possibly tell you what, say, the violent scenes in Riskbreaker were supposed to represent, or the full symbolic meaning behind the grandfather clock in Always Die Young. Not even the burning lily and fleur-de-lis made complete sense to me. Maybe that's why I never went that far in depth about the group. Oh well. Getting back on track here, if you want a clear picture on what certain scenes represent, you first need to understand the song. And I can think of no better place to begin than the title. Very similar in the cases of Riskbreaker and Human Nature, Batar has decided to combine two words in the English dictionary. The first of which being ignition, which can mean setting a fire, the process or means of igniting the fuel mixture in an engine, or a device that activates an ignition system. In front of this noun, we have the combining word mal, French in origin meaning bad, ill, or wrongful. This particular beginning is used in several words in English, malfunction and maladapted being the most common ones that I think of regarding the lyrics. Not because they're poorly written, of course, but because, in regards to the song as a whole, the lyrics revolve around these two words without most people realizing it.
Decisions based on emotions, on decisions at all. Are we afraid of collective suicide?
And my biggest piece of evidence,
Already lies like what we wrote, but we still light straight into the brick.
all of that, for me anyways, points to bad, wrong, and even destructive behavior. The kind of behavior that can only make you temporarily happy before you feel the crash the next day. And this is very well represented by the extras in the music video who take part in these particular actions. And to take it a step further, Batar is meant to symbolize these destructive qualities. DJ Wakana desiring sex from Simon, Maria Kankuro doing everything she can to get wine from Indigo, and number 96 and Patrick, honestly, their scenes together can be any number of things. Gossip and materialism come to mind. It could be just straight up mischief for all I know. Beyond this huge piece of evidence, Malignition not just focuses on the bad that's ignited by certain acts made in life, but also confronts them. In the beginning of the music video, we see Indigo confronting number 96 about her malicious acts. Again, whatever you call this scene with her and Patrick. And he brings these actions and their true nature to light. Evidence includes lines like this. This.
Sticks in the mud will end up breaking bones.
And most importantly, this.
Your silence speaks of words that I know you will say.
These lines actually resonate with me. I've had several moments where I've had to confront other people as well as myself about very destructive behavior that have only led to a temporary feeling of happiness before crashing at the end. And on top of that, it does me one better because it feels like some of the lines connect with some of the lyrics in Always Die Young.
Your misery loves company, so stay right there, far away from me. Your blood is testing our truth facade. What little we have left won't keep me from walking away.
And probably the strongest connection I get out of this.
I heard it all before, this hollow truth.
Really does beg the question of whether or not these songs were meant to relate to each other or not. So now that I've gone in depth on the meaning behind Malignition, we need to address the music video. We've covered the major points already, but I have specifically neglected the role of one person. That is, their drummer, Tobias. Now, the band emulates the meaning behind the song, but I'd argue that Tobias is the one driving the story behind the music video, and in turn, adding another layer to the actual song. I made a reaction video to Malignition immediately after it was released, and after the video was over, I described Tobias as being the personification of death. And I think that's the most accurate guess I got out of that reaction. Tobias kills 2 people in this video just by touching them, but if you really examine his appearances, not only do you realize he's one of the most intimidating figures in the music video, but he's also, dare I say it, the brightest, the most calming of them. He always appears in light, still emulating the role of death, but my question is, the death of what? I doubt it means literal death, but rather the death of self. I believe this even more when I examine scenes with Simon, Patrick, and Indigo. They're almost always in dark, shady backgrounds in comparison, the only exception being some of the Indigo's first scenes confronting number 96. All done with intent. I first described this video as a hell cruise, but it's more like a hell house. Living in it day by day, nothing really changing, and with people around you that keep filling your standard hellish desires, up until the life no longer suits you, and you leave it the only way you're allowed to. The story makes much more sense to me, and I get the feeling I'll always come back to this video, if only for that story. And thus concludes my final song review of 2016, with only one question left in mind. What Batar song am I going to put on my best of 2016 list? My favorite song off Gravitas changes daily. I can't very well in this moment pick which one is my favorite. Don't be surprised if that guarantees who gets the #1 vote in this video, trust me. Regardless of all of that, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw today, be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't. Also, be sure to check out BatAAr. Links to their videos and their music in the annotations and in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you on the top 10 worst hit songs of 2016. See ya!